The battle is heating up like never before. After a few grueling and challenging days, the contestants are finally showing off their top-tier survival skills. From building shelters, hunting, fishing, to crafting tools and protecting their food supplies. Every move is calculated, and there's no room for mistakes. As the competition goes deeper, the tension rises. It's no longer just about strength. It takes mental resilience, patience, and true grit to survive. Who will move forward? Who will fall behind? Let's find out in today's episode. If you love thrilling survival adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single episode. Now, let's get started. The challenge has entered day 8. Dusty is one of the 8 contestants still holding on at this stage. But before heading out to fish, he decides it's time to clean his head. After all, it's been 8 days without a proper wash. He kneels by the cold river, soaking his tangled hair. Using some crushed wild leaves as natural shampoo, he scrubs quickly and rinses off with the crisp water. Just like that, he feels refreshed, ready for another battle with nature. But there's no time to waste. Dub rushes back to his fishing spot, where a line has been set. Suddenly, the rod twitches. His heart races. With steady hands, he pulls the line, and there it is, a fish flailing just beneath the surface. One swift strike, and the hunt is over. After cleaning and cooking the fish, he finally sits down to enjoy the well-earned reward of his hard work, a rare moment of satisfaction in this unforgiving wilderness. Lately, William has been fully occupied building his shelter. Though the structure isn't large, it provides him with a much-needed sense of comfort and safety. With winter rains approaching, he knows that survival depends on preparation. So, he heads to the river to gather mud and stones, essential materials for constructing a chimney. Out here, no one survives the cold nights without a fire. William is the only contestant who didn't bring a bow and arrow, which makes hunting significantly harder. But he has his own strategy. After finishing a self-made weapon, he begins his hunt. Moving slowly through the underbrush, he spots a group of grouse in the distance. Locking in on one, he inches closer, calm, silent, focused. Then snap! A precise loop of his snare traps the bird. Success! William can't believe how effective this method is. If things keep going like this, hunger might no longer be his biggest threat. He stores the bird in his food cache and continues hunting. Just like before, he creeps toward another unsuspecting grouse, and once again, success. With each catch, William proves that you don't always need fancy tools, just patience, precision, and a clever mind. It's a survival skill the other contestants might want to learn from. A new day has arrived. Sarah hasn't had much luck hunting lately. She's been surviving on a handful of berries just to keep her stomach from growling. While reinforcing her shelter with fallen leaves, something unexpected happens. A majestic owl swoops down and perches nearby. In her tribe's tradition, owls are seen as a symbol of good luck and even as spirit guides that help hunters find their prey. Taking it as a hopeful sign, Sarah sets off to gather some energy-boosting plants, mainly wild roots she knows are edible. Once she feels a bit stronger, she ventures deeper into the forest, bow in hand and hope in her heart. Suddenly, a sharp call from a grouse breaks the stillness. Her instincts kick in. Carefully, she approaches. One smooth movement, one perfectly aimed arrow, and the bird goes down. She carries her prize to the riverbank to clean and prepare it, then heads back to camp. Tonight, for the first time in days, Sarah enjoys the most satisfying and hearty meal she's had since the beginning of this survival challenge. After more than 5 hours of hard work, he finally succeeded in building a cone-shaped smokehouse. Even though his food supply wasn't abundant at the moment, Dusty believed that preparing ahead was always the smarter choice. Having been out in the wilderness for so many days, a deep sense of homesickness began to creep in. To cope with the loneliness, he looked for more tasks to keep his mind occupied. And what better option than to go hunting? Wildlife was plentiful around the area, and Dusty soon managed to catch his first grouse. While processing the bird, he carefully saved some wing feathers to craft his own arrows. But lately, Dusty had been experiencing persistent stomach pain. He hoped it would pass soon. While waiting for the grouse to finish cooking, a worrying thought struck him. He had been drinking from a pond near the headwaters. If there were beavers living in that water, he might have been exposed to parasites that can cause stomach issues. The pain lingered, joined by bouts of dizziness. Last night, he had to grit his teeth and endure the worst of it. It scared him. If this continued, he knew it would force him out of the competition. The next morning, he tried eating a little to see if things improved, but the pain remained. He went for a walk, hoping movement might help, but neither food nor fresh air brought relief. There was no other option. Dusty made the hard but wise decision to tap out of the competition. His health simply wasn't something to gamble with, not even for $500,000. I believe he made the right call. Do you agree with me? Goodbye, Dusty. We wish you strength, healing, and good health ahead. Sarah's spirits had lifted significantly ever since she successfully hunted that grouse. The victory sparked a renewed determination in her. She was more focused than ever on making it to the end. Today, she had a new plan. Use the grouse's entrails as bait to catch some big fish. But first, she needed to carefully craft a few sturdy fishing hooks. Without proper hooks, the fish could easily bite through and escape. Meticulously, she worked with sharp tools and steady hands, knowing that every detail mattered. With her gear ready and her bait prepared, she set off toward the river. But then, a gut-wrenching surprise. The pile of entrails she had hidden so carefully was gone. Vanished. Stolen by some wild animal, no doubt. Frustration and anger surged through her. All that preparation, gone in an instant. Still, she refused to sit still and sulk. She grabbed her gear and headed into the forest, determined to find something, anything to eat. Hunting wasn't easy, especially without bait, but fate gave her a break. She stumbled upon a patch of bovine mushrooms, a rare and hardy wild fungus. Sarah gathered as many as she could, carefully selecting the freshest ones to store for the days ahead. No meat today, but with a full pouch of wild mushrooms, she knew this was still a win. Out here, survival means adapting, and Sarah just proved once again she's a fighter. Life had been quite pleasant for William lately. With a steady supply of food after days of hard hunting, he finally had some time to relax and unwind. Early in the morning, William sat outside his shelter, bathing in the gentle rays of the rising sun. The cool breeze and warm sunlight made him feel almost like he was home. But soon, the growling of his stomach awakened his survival instincts. He stood up and walked over to the spot where he had hidden the grouse he caught yesterday, hoping to enjoy a hearty breakfast. But then, as soon as he arrived, he froze. The bird was gone. All that remained was a scattered pile of feathers on the ground. His heart sank. A heavy silence settled over him. Clearly, this wasn't the work of a human. The signs pointed to a weasel, a sneaky predator with a sharp nose and a knack for striking when you're off guard. William sighed. Well, looks like this spot isn't safe for storing food anymore. Since the beginning of the competition, Jake still hasn't managed to catch a single fish, while the other contestants have reeled in who knows how many. Today is no different. He checks the fishing net, but it's just as empty as always. With a sigh, he throws it back into the water and returns to camp to wait. Suddenly, memories of his late father come flooding back. Tears begin to roll down his cheeks, uninvited but unstoppable. And in a moment of distraction, misfortune strikes. Without heat-resistant gloves, Jake tries to lift a pot of boiling water using a handful of grass. His grip slips, he gets burned. Then in a second attempt, he burns himself again. What a streak of bad luck. But it's okay. Jake knows how to handle this. He calmly opens the first aid kit, cleans the wound, disinfects it, then wraps it carefully with a bandage. All the bad luck gone. Now it's just Jake and a new day waiting to turn things around. Timber continues to pursue his passion for hunting moose, because he knows very well that taking down just one could mean winning the entire competition. To make that happen, he's always stationed at the edge of the meadow, carefully observing. He doesn't want to miss a single opportunity. But now, hunger starts to creep in, so he decides to take a break and find some other food. He focuses on crafting a fishing net, one that can catch fish automatically while he's still out tracking moose. After fiddling with it all morning, he only manages to complete about 3 sections. Not wanting to go hungry, he heads to the river to check his fishing traps, hoping to score dinner. To his surprise, there's already a huge fish caught in one of them. After checking the rest of the lines, he finds a second catch. All of this in just 1 hour. Looks like Timber is in for a feast tonight. Thanks to the help of the 2 fish he caught, Timber has been able to focus on building his camp over the past few days. His A-frame style shelter, constructed from thick, sturdy logs, is strong enough to withstand the cold and keep wild animals out. Once the main frame was up, he packed moss in the gaps to block the wind from creeping in. This might just be the most luxurious shelter in the entire competition. Jake is still nursing his burn, and every day he has to change the bandages, a necessary routine to prevent infection from setting in. After carefully tending to the wound, he heads down to the riverbank to check the fishing net. But the scene before him leaves him wide-eyed in disbelief. Not only did he catch a fish, he caught 2 at once. With this catch, he can eat well for the next few days. To make the most of it, Jake sets up a simple smokehouse he built earlier, placing part of the fish inside to smoke and preserve it, while the rest he's going to cook and enjoy right now. After completing his A-frame shelter, Timber could finally sit back and enjoy his smoked fish fully and peacefully. But just then, he heard it, a faint sound echoing from the distance. Could it be a moose? Without wasting a second, Timber grabbed his bow, but as he turned, a sudden rush of wings swooped past him. An owl, so close it nearly collided with him, throwing him off guard. Startled, he swung a stick to drive it away and refocused immediately. Now on high alert, he headed toward the sound. The path was long, and to avoid alerting the animal, he chose to loop around by the riverbank. If this hunt succeeded, the championship could already be within his grasp. He arrived at a clearing. No shelter, no cover. So, Timber did what few could pull off. He mimicked the call of a moose. And then, he waited. Moments later, a flicker of movement through the trees. The animal was approaching, cautiously. Timber raised his bow, aimed. The tension built. And then, he fired. But did he hit the target? Did Timber finally bring down the moose? You'll have to find out in the next episode of 100 Day Survival, Season 11. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what happens next. We'll see you at 7 p.m. daily, same time, same channel.